Hey everyone, Keith from Body Activation here. I just wanted to say thanks to all of you that left a response for our last video, and I hope you enjoy these new additions. If you have any comments whatsoever, please leave them right on the YouTube channel, or you can even like us at Facebook /Body Activation LLC. So just friend us and leave a comment if you want. But today we're going to be covering the Keiser leg curl. We're going to talk about its mechanics, its adjustments, its setup, and possible exercise opportunity. Also, what other exercises may line up well with the Keiser leg curl. So again, if you have any comments whatsoever, they're completely welcome, and hopefully this will provide you really good information that you can use right away. So enough of me, onto the machine.
The machine axis feels pretty good, especially with a wide variety of angles and people and exercises and magnitudes. As the path of motion reaches its knee flexion limit, the moment arm of the Kevlar belt to the input arm axis drops off by almost 3/4. Going further into knee flexion, the angle of both the piston and the Kevlar belt approach 90 degrees to the link axis. Relationship of the piston increasing pressure and the piston and Kevlar belt increasing its moment arm to the back link axis, but the Kevlar belt losing moment arm to the input arm axis gives this machine a smooth path of motion with a resistance profile that descends the further you go into knee flexion. Here's a good shot of all the components working together. So many good things about this machine except this input arm. Again, it's pretty clunky, but you get there eventually. This thigh adjustment drops into place pretty quick, although the pad isn't too padded, so watch out for putting it too tight. The seat adjustment is super quick and super easy. Just toggle the switch and there you go. Plus, you gotta love the fact that all I need to do to change magnitude is push a button. Monitor what's happening with resistance as far as the piston goes with the analog gauge. It's in real time and it's happening right on the fly. So let's see some examples of how to set this exercise up. So we're going to see if her knee is lined up with this joint axis. In this shot, we move the pad forward to have the knee not line up with the axis, and you notice that the pad would actually slide on the calf. So we decide to adjust the seat and move the client back in a position where the crook of the knee is right flush with the pad and the knee is lined up with the axis. So for comfort, we move the input pad. We haven't repadded our thigh pad yet, which makes it a little uncomfortable. So what we do is we leave a little bit more space between the thigh and the pad so it can easily conform to it as we increase the resistance. Before we start pumping up the resistance, we ask the client to extend their knees to make sure we know exactly what their current positions are. And then from there, we pump up the resistance to meet those positions. That's if we choose to challenge them there. Let's look at some modifications that we made to our machine. We don't have a position limiter, so we packed one together. We took some of this magnetic tape and coupled a couple pieces together, and it makes a nice stopper. This range limiter can come in very handy when you're dealing with people with joint limitations. The thigh pad restrains vertical forces very well, but nothing is there to restrain horizontal forces. You can piece together two Velcro resisted sled belts, and that should do the trick. Hey look, no hands necessary. Let's explore some exercise ideas. One of the things that we like to do is play around with the velocity. Since we're using the compressed air, it has a little less of inertial effects, so we can play around with that. We also like to play around with single limb exercises where you can try to extend the opposite limb. We also play around with ankle position and also isometrics at various knee positions. We also use the Keiser seated leg curl for an RTS term called complementary training, where we do a mass-based seated leg curl, then supersetted with the Keiser seated leg curl. So just get after it and experiment with a machine that can augment your training and change your exercise experience. If you liked our work, check us out at bodyactivation.com or on Twitter at bodyactivation. If you want to learn a lot more about exercise and machines, check out rts123.com.